Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Dr. Anthony Thompson. How are you doing?
Doing quite well, Katie. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
First of all, we got the name came from Ephesians, 2nd chapter. Ephesians talks about him dying to bring the two together as one new humanity. And we had an event. Our first event was November the 20th of 2022. The first night we had a revival. And the reason behind the revival is a good story behind that. It was a church on Aston Street. Right now it's St. John Reformed Episcopal Church. But in the 1800s, it was a Presbyterian church. But it was an integrated Presbyterian church. They had like 12 whites, 12 blacks, and about 48 whites. Anyway, he caught a lot of flack behind it. The pastor's name was Gerardo. And he wanted to do something similar to what we're talking about right now. He wanted to unite the city of Charleston. Yeah, so he had a revival, and a three-day revival. And on that third night, it describes him preaching like a shock of electricity with the Holy Spirit, of course. And when that Spirit hit him, it changed everything. Because the very next day, you hear what I'm saying? The very next day, every church in Charleston increased their membership. Every church increased their membership. Yeah, it's a written fact.
That is crazy.
It's a written fact, yeah. And then what happened was, it was like the Spirit hit and just kept on going. As far as on the East Coast, from Charleston all the way to New York, over 1 million people got saved from that revival. And so the next day we went to 7 different landmarks in the city of Charleston. One of the landmarks was the Battery.
White Point Gardens?
White Point Garden. Because that's the place where a lot of brothers fought brothers. Well, like 600,000 soldiers died right there in that spot. So that was a spot of hostility, you know. So we went there to pray, and it was over having slaves. You know what I mean? So we prayed there that God would, change their hearts. He can't change what happened,
Of course.
but he can change the hearts of the people today, so that they will no longer perpetuate the hostility that took place there. Instead of hostility, let's talk about some peace. Then we went from there to Four Corners of Law, the same thing. You're talking about Four Corners of Law where all these beautiful buildings were basically built, you understand, on the backs of slaves.
Yeah.
Free labor, which was an injustice. Then we went to the Exchange Building where, pretty much where the slaves came in at, praying about what happened there. Then we marched to the United States Customs House, of course, where the money came in from the transatlantic slave trade, and the Caribbean barons, who profited off of slavery. And then, of course, we went back to St. John's. Then we marched to Emmanuel, and you know what happened there. Then we marched to Marion Square. That's where we ended the march. Marion Square was the pinnacle point where everybody had the opportunity to express acts of penance, for the next event. Yeah, and so pretty much that's what it consisted of.
Powerful day.
Yeah, powerful day. We had people to join in, with us along the way.
Maybe didn't know that the event was happening.
Have no idea.
There you go.
Then I had some friends of mine who actually like watching it on TV, and they came running out there. I mean, like joining in, yeah.
I mean, that.
Who I hadn't seen in years, and taking the flags and things out of my hands. I'm trying to figure who are these people. And then I realized people I knew from previous years.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, today we are getting messy. I am at Studio 4319. I'm with Michelle. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better now that I'm here, if I'm being honest.
Great. Well, you know.
We have had so much fun this afternoon. We have been creating and getting messy, and this is what you do every day.
Every day, all day.
All the time.
It is my favorite thing ever.
Tell me about your job and what you do.
Well, we have, it's an art studio, art playground. We have classes from 18 months all the way up to adult classes, 18 months to 101. We teach Mommy and Me classes. All of our classes are process-based art. So that means that we're not focused on the end result. We're about the process. So even with the kids, they get really stuck on that. It has to be perfect. But when you take that pressure off and say we're just focusing on the process, it takes away that perfectionist feeling and that, you know, it's okay if it doesn't look amazing at the end because everything that happened in the process was so much better.
That's the art.
Yes. Frame Your Beach. So this is a resin, and we used a variety of supplies. We have shells, this is some kind of jewelry string, and then epoxy resin is something that you would normally see that people are doing in molds. They go on the tumbler cups now. These things are epoxy resin. So now that will be permanently frozen in that position on your frame from the resin, because tomorrow it'll be hard as a rock.
And the mermaid cannot swim.
And the mermaid will be right there forever. And then you also made this beautiful coaster with some glitter and your name, and Miguel made this beautiful bowl that he's going to get to put up. And here's some other things that are the more traditional uses for resin in the arting and crafting world, but this is just kind of a next level, really more what I love because it's combining the art with the resin.
This was therapeutic for me,
Very
if
much,
I'm being
absolutely.
honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like you probably come across that quite a bit with people
Absolutely.
who come take classes
Oh,
here.
yeah, it is very therapeutic.
Where can people find out more information about your classes?
My website is studio4319.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and my number is 843-400-3045. We have it all. It's really amazing.
Well, we have got our apron on today because we are at the Art Museum of Myrtle Beach. I'm joined by Colin. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Let's go ahead and get into it. What are we doing today?
So today we have these stuffed paper sculptures of musical instruments. It's inspired by our exhibit, Lifting Black Voices. We have one of the galleries in the show has an entire gallery full of paintings and artwork that is inspired by jazz and music. So this is a pretty simple project, but still it gives you really cool results. So the first step for this is you're going to print out either some type of musical instrument, it could be whatever you'd like. We have some tubas here. And after you print them out, you're going to cut them out. And then you're going to get another sheet of paper and you're going to trace the outline of the instrument.
Okay.
So you just go around. And this, it doesn't have to be nice and neat. You can do it a little quick, you can do a little sketchy, which I like to do.
I'm very focused right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it didn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, sketching it takes a lot of focus, more focus than you think.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, once you have that all sketched out, you'll end up cutting it out.
Okay.
But thankfully, we already have these two examples already cut out.
Yay!
So yeah,
I can skip that step. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, once you cut them out, you will have, of course, two pieces of paper. And what you want to do is first staple half the papers together. So I did it kind of a little strategic spot so we can still kind of have some areas where we can end up stuffing the paper in there. So I did some like at the top, and I just did some of the sides too, leaving openings up here and also here at the bottom as well. But after you get it stapled together, you get to decorate it. And
Okay.
of course, this is completely up to the artist how you would want to decorate it, using whatever colors, whatever types of patterns. It's completely up to you.
Let's do it.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, one of my huge mottos in life is that you always deserve to have a sweet treat. And so today, I'm at Pawleys Island Bakery with the owner, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to take the grand tour, so why don't you go ahead and lead the way?
Come on in.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to the bakery. We've been open almost 14 years,
Okay.
serving this community well.
And I can already tell whenever you walk in here, this is just one of those spots that people love coming by, like multiple times a week. You come and get your fix, but like, what are some of the key items that are popular here?
Oh my goodness, the breakfast sandwich is the hottest item by far. People love those, it's their daily breakfast. We have cheese danishes, we have pies, we have cookies, we have cupcakes, we have specialty desserts. Our lunch sandwiches are nice and hearty, so fills you up. It's a good spot. The most important thing is this is just a chill spot to hang out. We have so many regulars and locals that come in. We have a lot of regulars that tour here. And so for us, knowing all these different smiling faces that come by, it makes it fun for us. It's a family atmosphere. We're family operated and owned, so it's a good spot to be.
So it's Tiffany Clark. I am the cake decorator. I am also the manager.
You and your husband both work here.
Yes.
It's like a big happy family.
So it's all we've ever known.
Okay.
We worked together at the last place we were at, and that's actually where we met.
I love it, I love it.
And so when I started here in May of 2020, it was the weirdest time in our relationship that we weren't working together. And so then, yeah, November of 2020, he started working here.
Was there a moment in your life where you thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Or did it just serendipitously happen?
So I've always loved baking. My dad, big baking fan. I always loved doing it. I never eat it.
Interesting.
I am a pastry chef who does not eat sweets, really. I have to really want them. When the Culinary Institute up in Market Commons announced that they were doing a full program on baking and pastry, I originally started out wanting to do cakes, and then when I started there, I still loved to do cakes, but I enjoyed doing like chocolates and stuff like that better.
That's hard.
It's fun.
That's the tough stuff.
It's
I
fun.
mean, you can really mess up a chocolate.
Yeah, no, it's temperamental, but I like that. I like the more structure. I like cooking, but cooking is kind of like fly by the seat of your pants, whereas baking is very structured, very like to the T, exact measurements, otherwise everything comes out, and I like the control of that.
Yeah, if you've ever tried to substitute like baking soda for baking powder in a
does not
recipe,
work.
that's exactly what she's talking about. So what is your favorite type of cake to decorate?
I love doing birthday cakes for people, but my favorite would always be weddings. Just to be a part of that like biggest day of somebody's life is so special. I love what I do. They always say you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you're doing, and I do. I do love this.
So now we're back in the kitchen.
Yeah, hanging out in the kitchen.
This is where all the breakfast sandwich magic happens,
This
right?
is where the magic happens. My main man, Tanner, right here, he likes to mix it up on the grill. There's some love put in that sandwich.
You want the dynamic to be really fun. Like you want to have fun with your employees.
Yep.
You want everybody to have a good time while they're working here.
Absolutely.
Why is that important to you?
Life is short. You want to enjoy coming to work every day. If, like Tiffany said in there, it doesn't end up being like work if you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, and then the customers feel that too. We want the community to feel like they walked into their second home and they're just hanging out for a little while and with their good friends.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.